Let's kick it off. The recording should be started. Perfect. So welcome to the next iteration of the Refinement meeting. As always, please join the estimation board so we can put some estimation on the tickets to discover if they are too big or good enough for the people. And thanks, Moritz, for sharing the link in the chat. So, refinement for 2 tickets. Let's start from Simon. You provided this ticket 11 minutes ago.
Yes, I just took a look because I took a look at the Keptn specific and the Google rating. If there, I wanted to check if there are any errors regarding sitemap or something like that for the Keptn documentation, or any pages with some just simply some kind of errors which can occur. And I found out as I checked the file and the Google verification, as the verification, as the file we used for verification within. So the first problem is I did not find any kind of entry regarding lifecycle.keptn.sh within the Google Search Console. And then I checked the verification file we have within our repository, and I saw that it's actually the verification file from keptn.sh, and this will not work. So in the end, it's a file we do not need it either. We do not need at all, or if we want to have Search Console, we need to adapt the verification approach either with a new file, which is clutter within the repository, or a DNS entry, or a text DNS entry, and then this should also work. The question is, do we want to have that? As Moritz already wrote, we do not. He thinks we do not need it. And how do we want to track it? So how do we want to do the verification is most likely the question.
What type of benefits do we get from the console?
You see, I can only speak from the things I did with keptn.github.io. It displays error in the sitemap XML. It displays error when there are canonical tags, etc., not properly linked. And for example, I use this to take a look at all the kind of all the user pages and taking a look what gets predecessors within Google ranking, etc., based on canonical URLs, etc. So it's more like going into the SEO direction of the web page to see where users are coming in, what are the most used pages, and why most likely they are coming into that pages, and rather than the more accurate and actual ones.
And what's the benefit of this versus it's called transparent pixel from Scarf?
Scarf only tracks where people are coming from, whereas the Google Search Console also shows you the errors in the sitemap XML. Shows you. If you like, I can shortly show you what we see with Keptn, with the Keptn web page, and I share my screen shortly.
Is there any private data that we should not share, or?
No, it's only analyzing the web page. There's no.
Okay.
The only thing you see is how my Google account is named. That's. Oh. So what we, not even that. So what we actually do see is, it's also about performance, web vitals, and all the usual things. So first of all, you get the performance index, how the web page is performing regarding the impression and the page experience for the users. What are good pages? What are bad pages? So you can theoretically improve your SEO. It's not as important, but it also gives you an overview over the sitemap. And the most important part is which pages are found, which pages have a alternate proper canonical URL tag, which ones do not have one, which one have duplicated content and do not have a canonical tag. So you can actually trigger your SEO a little bit better regarding where you want to redirect the users, etc.
Moritz, since you're against that, do you have any more?
So I only noticed that we have that by accident for the Keptn page, and I don't know if that was ever really used, except for Simon now. Based on that, I would say we don't need it because we didn't need it before.
We use it in the past, honestly.
Did we?
Yeah, to know which web pages we should improve in terms of documentation. Like the about page for Keptn, we put effort into that because we saw that everyone was clicking that one.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if there's a use for us, then of course. But then we should also make it fully transparent and add maintainers and blah. And
Yes, so let me share again the screen. This one.
and then I would actually vote for the file because it's more transparent than the DNS circuit.
Okay. All maintainers means all KLT maintainers.
Oh, fair point. Sorry. Yeah.
Just to be, so you could also add KLT as a.
Oh, right now that we have.
Don't do it. Everybody will get a notification.
No, we'll do
No,
it.
it should not be lifecycle toolkit maintainers. No, it's true. That should it be? No, that's fine. No. That's correct. No. But this is also something which I totally understand from a perspective that all lifecycle toolkit maintainers should be part. But there is this thing as I would say everybody can be part, but they should mention themselves and write me their email address or something like that, because I'm not sure if we want to, regarding email, writing that into the ticket or how to share the email information as something, because some people do not want to share their email address and do not have even hide them, more likely are hidden within.
Yeah, right. So whoever wants, please reach out to Simon privately. Should we estimate this or not? I would say rather no, because it's set of action.
It is the first time I could estimate something.
Then let's estimate. Make Simon happy.
Oh.
Ooh. I'm Andre and Flo. Why?
I actually have no idea what it requires, to be honest. I just put in a number.
Okay. To explain, Google will create an HTML file with a one-liner. You can find it in docs static Google some strange number.html. There is currently one. You need to replace that with the file Google created, and then you need to invite the people to the.
Okay.
So it's. No.
That doesn't sound that hard, but I'm fine with an S then.
Me too.
I would rather go with XS because it's really a matter of task. That's why I was thinking, should we really estimate since it's straightforward? But let's put an S since it's the first ticket, and then we can refine on that. Oopsie, not this one, this one, this one, or different opinion. Any. It's small enough, so it's not too big that we need to split or anything else. So, on which paper focus on improving our message, our documentation actually.
And then shall we also put in that or I don't know, but did we decide on putting in the file now and not the DNS
Yeah,
record?
I put it
it's
here.
already. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me. Perfect. Thank you, Simon. Oh, 3 people already put the thumbs up. The second ticket that we have to refine is the following one for the metric server, because we have currently a limitation. We can only support a single provider. If you want to use multiple Prometheus instances, because I have one Prometheus that watches my dev environment, one for my staging environment, and I want to, I don't know, to evaluate metrics before the promotion in staging, is the infrastructure healthy enough so I can trigger the promotion or not? I cannot, because I can only look at a single Prometheus. instance at a time. So what I'm proposing here is to change the Keptn metric provider and also the Keptn metric. Now I have to recall things I didn't prepare. Oh yes, so the Keptn metric should have a different field now. Inside spec provider, beside the name, you should have the type, so we know which type is it. So behind the scene, the Keptn metric controller knows which provider implementation should be used. And this one should be one of the following that we implement: Datadog, Prometheus, Dynatrace. So we might also want to have a validation webhook in the future for this.
To be honest,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just thinking maybe the Keptn metric should just I don't know. Yeah, maybe it should just refer to a provider with a certain name, and then in the provider we should have the actual type.
I have the exactly same
I agree, yeah.
opinion.
I'm fine with that.
Then I would probably not field spec.provider.type, but spec.
No. That's more valid input, honestly, because this way I can have the same metric and I just use the metric name, and then the implementation of the metric, implementation in the sense of from where this data number comes from, can differ. So I can have a difference between the platform engineer and the developer that wants. If I think now, maybe I see that Moritz, you have some question mark in your face. As a developer, I want to express an HPA. I say, I want to use CPU, right, to scale my workload. As a platform engineer, I decide which tool you can use in order to detect this number. So I can decide if this number should come from Prometheus or Dynatrace. Moritz? All good? Or...
Sorry, my internet broke for exactly the time where you spoke.
No!
I promise I didn't do it on purpose.
No worries. So what I was saying is I see this input very variable that we should have it in the metric provider, because this way we can have a split between the responsibility of a developer that says, I want to use this metric, and then from the platform engineer that says, you have these metrics available for doing your scaling or whatsoever. So I can control the platform. Okay.
So what Flo and Andre suggested anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know now if these fields make sense. I need to double check.
I would maybe go for spec.type.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking now. In the spec, we don't have much. So, yeah. We have target server and the secret, and you can have also directly the type, which makes sense. And yeah, then the controller should use this information.
Basically, in this case, we do not need to touch the Keptn metric at all.
No.
Basically, the definition. So
yeah, only the provider. And now my question is, should we add a validation webhook or not? Since we have a well-defined possible type list and enumeration.
I guess we can do this with the regex, with the QBuilder regex defaults, or how is it called?
We can use the regex directly. You're right. And then we add it here.
Do we just add this to the new CRD version? I'm sorry. Reading is important.
Yeah, let's put this.
So this is going to be lifecycle alpha 4.
2, 3, 3, 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah, with V1 alpha 2. Okay. Other validations.
I would have a question. Will we kind of use the mutating webhook here? I guess yes.
Mutating what?
Not mutate. Oh, not sorry, mutating conversion webhooks.
Validating
Conversion. Now I mean
conversion.
from V1 alpha 2 to V1 alpha 3. It basically should be possible because we can migrate it because we know the type, as it's currently the name of the Keptn provider, but then we need to generate the.
No, the name stays the same.
It cannot. Or?
Yes, it can.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sure.
In this
And
case.
then the next provider you will add needs to have a different name, but you can have one that's just called Prometheus, for example, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's possible.
Yeah, this way you don't also need to update all the existing metrics you had previously.
So
Exactly.
basically the conversion would just take the name if the type is not specified as the type.
Actually, it's lowercase. DQL, that was it.
Just one question here. Will we change the hub version? I guess yes, we need to move the hub version to V1 alpha 3. Wouldn't that be
Yes.
sufficient to do in the separate PR? Like a pre
Up to the
preparation?
implementer. Up to
Okay.
the implementer. It's not part of the ticket, I would suggest.
Maybe I would like to have a note that new CRD version in brackets plus change of the hub version in a separate PR. So it's clear.
I would say that's up to the implementer that to do that, it should not be part of the ticket. That's asking too much because I want to give you freedom to decide how to implement the best.
Would it be a breaking change then? Yes, right? No?
I don't think so, because the behavior stays the same. If you have a single provider with the name that is correct, nothing is broken. So, and we are only adding.
Yeah, I think it should not be a
Then why do
breaking
we need a
change.
new CRD version at all?
It's not a breaking. It is
In
a
alpha,
breaking.
we can do whatever we want. That's the thing.
It is a
That
breaking.
anyways, but
But
sorry,
is it?
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It is a breaking change, but we basically can do it without losing information or whatever.
It's not a breaking change.
If we make type as not mandatory and the default behavior is that if type is empty, we use name, then this is not a breaking change.
If you apply V2, then the conversion will kick in and make everything fine. If you use V3, then you need to specify the type.
So it's mandatory.
So it's mandatory or not? the type?
Mandatory, but depending on which version you're using. In V3, it's mandatory. In V2,
But,
it's
yeah.
not mandatory, but the
then
conversion webhook kicks in and makes it mandatory for you.
okay, then we need a new
Then it's a
version
breaking change.
because it's a breaking change then.
Yes.
it's a break. Depending what level of breaking change. It's a breaking change for the CRD. Yes, for the KLT, no,
Yeah, but
because it's a new version. It's not a breaking change.
Basically, it's a breaking change for the metric API. So it is.
No, it's not for the metric API. It's a
It
breaking
is.
change. No, for the CRD, not for the API. For the definition, it's a breaking change because we're introducing a new field, but not for the API. Depending what do you mean also for API,
CRD
because
and
we have
API
also
are
Yeah.
the same thing.
Okay, I
no,
think
the metric server is also APIs. We have a web server that exposes the metrics. Now I'm
Oh, that
confused.
API. Okay.
no,
this-
Kubernetes. Kubernetes.
Okay, yeah.
This is a
The-
breaking change for Kubernetes.
So we need a new meeting for the Keptn community philosophy about terminology in the project. Now,
Yeah,
please, let's
for
put
so many reasons.
an estimation, or do you have more? Breaking change, we can consider that in the PR implementation discussion. I don't think it's necessary in the ticket.
I mean, if it's a breaking change, we do all of the hub part thingy, which is more work.
I put it, it should be the
Okay,
hub
so
version.
okay.
Ooh, I didn't expect that coming after the discussion. I'm very proud of the team. We are
That's a
working like,
satisfying result.
yes,
Uh,
nice. You made my day. Thank you, everyone.
Everybody sees the same unknown uncertainty.
Okie dokie. No more tickets. Anyone last second input here for an extra ticket to refine, or then I think we can call it a day for this meeting. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.
Yeah.
Thanks, bye.